Friday marks the offseason solstice in Major League Baseball, the exact midpoint between Game 7 of the World Series and the first official spring training games in Arizona and Florida. With only a handful of top free agents signed and even fewer big names traded, the next few weeks leading into spring training promise to be absolutely chaotic. The Miami Marlins are drawing a hard line on their ace, Sandy Alcantara, despite heavy interest dating back to the trade deadline. According to the Miami Herald, the team wants to keep the 30-year-old right-hander and would need a massive offer just to consider moving him. Miami is willing to listen on fellow righty Edward Cabrera, though the Astros and Orioles have backed off after making recent rotation additions. Houston landed Mike Burrows, while Baltimore grabbed Shane Baz. Alcantara struggled throughout much of 2025 in his first season back from Tommy John surgery, but he pitched significantly better late in the year. The deadline interest proves teams still believe in his ceiling and aren't deterred by one rough season. With $17 million owed in 2026 and a $21 million club option for 2027, there's zero urgency for Miami to deal him this winter. The Marlins did make one significant move earlier this week, signing closer Pete Fairbanks to a one-year, $13 million contract. This came shortly after reports surfaced that Ronny Henriquez, their best reliever in 2025, will miss the entire 2026 season following UCL surgery. Even with the Fairbanks addition, Miami's projected payroll sits at just $73 million, barely above last year's $70 million. Meanwhile, the St. Louis Cardinals are actively hunting for a right-handed bat after dealing catcher Willson Contreras to the Red Sox. President of Baseball Operations Chaim Bloom told reporters the team ideally wants that righty bat to play the outfield, where they currently have two lefty hitters penciled in with Lars Nootbaar and Victor Scott II. The available free agent options aren't particularly thrilling. Harrison Bader projects as the top available righty outfielder with a projected 1.5 WAR, but he'll likely command more money than St. Louis wants to spend. Miguel Andujar projects at 1.2 WAR, but functions more as a designated hitter than an outfielder. Randal Grichuk and Pham both project at under 1 WAR and are clearly in their decline years. Austin Hayes has surprisingly strong interest around the league and may prefer signing with a contender rather than a Cardinals team focused on long-term stability over immediate contention. St. Louis has already shipped out Contreras and Sonny Gray this offseason as they reshape their roster. Brendan Donovan appears likely to be moved eventually, and the same goes for Nolan Arenado, though his declining production and no trade clause complicate any potential deal.